mother and I.
The bond of marriage was established for the help and comfort given for each other in joy and in sorrow, in prosperity and in want, in sickness and in health. But primarily so you always have somebody to sit on a patio and enjoy a beer with. The love that these two share for one another is a product and a reflection of all those who have had an impact on their lives. No couple is an island, and a healthy relationship cannot be isolated from the people around it. Chris and Chelsea, look out on the people that have come together today to be your support. As you begin this journey together, always know that you have a family that will love and support the two of you. Now, I've heard that there's an open bar back at the house waiting for us, so, but before we do that, we do need to make sure that if anybody thinks that these two should not be lawfully wed, we're going to ask you to nicely, please go ahead and leave now, and then we'll share your drinks back at the house. Chelsea and Chris, I do charge both of you in the witness of this company that if either of you know of any reason that why you should not be married, to now please confess, because no one has any cause for this union not to continue. Chris, will you have this woman to be your wife, to live together with her in the covenant of marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, join in a curling team last minute with her, take her to the Minnesota Wild games, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to her as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Chelsea, will you have this man to be your husband, to live with him in the covenant of marriage, vowing to appreciate his welding jobs, go kayaking with him, and support him on any other hobbies he may pick up? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful unto him as long as you both shall live? And to the people gathered here today, will all of you witnessing these promises that Chelsea and Chris have just stated, do all in your power to uphold and support these two persons in their journey of marriage? If so, please respond, we will.
We will.
All right. Chris and Chelsea, today is another chapter in your love story. One that will be willing... Sorry. Had to wipe my screen. All right. There we go. All right. Chris and Chelsea, today is another chapter in your love story. One that you're willing to share with us. And like all of us here today, we have our own love stories. Some of those stories are short, while some of them are just getting started, and some have a few more pages written to them. Some are just getting to the good parts as well. These are all chapters in our stories. There are all chapters in our stories that are sad or disappointing, and others that are full of excitement and full of adventure. Love stories don't matter who the two people are involved, where they live or grew up, if they live in the same state, or how many years it takes you to get to the altar. Chris and Chelsea's story brings them here today. A time to pause, look back, and smile at all the moments that have brought them here together, and look ahead at all the moments that are still to come. We're all here because we want to share in those moments with you. We're here to hope with you, to support you, to be proud of you, and to remind you that love is the experience of writing your story together. Remember that love is quiet, mutual confidence, sharing and forgiving. It is loyalty through good times and loyalty through bad times. It is satisfied in less than perfection and makes allowances for human weaknesses. Love is content with the present, hopes for the future, and does not brood over the past. It is the day in and day out chronicles of irritations, problems, compromises, small disappointments, big victories, and new adventures and working towards common goals. And just like a good adventure story, it is not one moment, but every moment. It's every moment in between. Big ones like saying I love you for the first time, getting engaged, moving in together, helping Chelsea find the perfect location for Chris's new piece of furniture he just built. But mostly it's all the little ones that come in between those big ones, like playing yard games, washing dishes together, spending holidays with your families, binge watching The Tiger King, and lifelong commitments of going overboard for any patriotic holiday. These everyday moments fuse together, creating your story. You're vowing to take care of one another through many acts of love and honesty, patience and support, and to stand up to be with one another and to find happiness. There's a simple premise to each of these promises. You're vowing to always be there for one another. You're teaming up and vowing to the other, saying, every experience I am going to have, I want you to be a part of. Chelsea, please go ahead and give your flowers to Travis. And Chelsea, please take the hand of this handsome man and repeat after me. I vow to help you love life.
I vow to help you love life.
To always hold you with tenderness.
To always hold you with tenderness.
To have the patience that love demands.
To have the patience that love demands.
To speak when words are needed.
To speak when words are needed.
And to share the silence when they are not.
To share the silence when they are not.
To live within the warmth of your heart.
To live within the warmth of your heart.
And always call it home.
And always call it home.
Chris, please continue to gaze into this gorgeous girl's eyes and repeat after me. I vow to help you love life.
I vow to help you love life.
To always hold you with tenderness.
Always hold you with tenderness.
To have the patience that love demands.
Have the patience that love demands.
To speak when words are needed.
To speak when words are needed.
And to share the silence when they are not.
To share the silence when they are not.
To live within the warmth of your heart.
To live within the warmth of your heart.
And always call it home.
And always call it home.
Wedding rings have long been a symbol of commitment and love for one another. They are an outward sign to the world of our love and fidelity to one another, and to represent what has been and what will be. This unbroken circle, a token of one's love for one another, is meant to survive through years of hand-washing, hand-holding, dishwashing, cooking, painting, kayaking, campfire building, high-fiving, and tender caresses. These rings also have an additional special meaning to them, since they were forged by Chris in the backyard of their home. What is it, rings? Chris, repeat after me. I give this ring as a symbol of my love, with all that I am, and all that I have, I honor you. Chelsea, you're going to do the same. Repeat after me. I give this ring
I give this ring
as a symbol of my love,
as a symbol of my love.
with all that I am,
With all that I am.
and all that I have,
And all that I have.
I honor you.
I honor you.
With the exchange of these rings, may they serve as a representation for one another, that they will always be with you at all times. The comforting presence of your other half to help you give wisdom and devotion, be a strength in your need, and in comfort and sorrow, and a companion in joy. Always have the grace when disappointments occurred to recognize and confess your fault, and to have compassion to receive it, even when Chris begins to nerd out and starts identifying fish at the same time trying to impress Chelsea. Now, we've all been a part of a ceremony where the couple makes a decision to have some outward symbolic component of their marriage. This is usually done with blending of sand, a painting, or joining two candles together to represent the joining of their families, merging the two individuals, and blending the two families.
They're gonna crush your knees.
You may notice that there are no candles. You may notice that there is no sand. And instead, you see a hammer. Thor's hammer can only mean that they have something special planned for us. Now, at first hearing that Chris and Chelsea was going to plan a Thor's hammer demonstration like this, I was like, all right. After a little bit of research, though, a little bit of academic research on Wikipedia, I realized that the famous Thor's hammer has played a major role in Norse religious practices throughout history, specifically used to bless marriages and births. The existence of this practice did involve a story where Thor was a cross-dresser, and he was smashing the skulls of the giants that stole the hammer. And since Chris is not in female attire, I'm assuming that's not what we have in store. So instead of smashing skulls, Chris and Chelsea have decided to use their symbolic gesture of joining their families with the traditional ceremony of the beer can smash. I invite the couple now to please pick up the ceremonial hammer and symbolically join their lives.
First attempt at this. Yeah. Ready?
Thank you, Chris and Chelsea. I think we can all agree that was smashing. All right. Go ahead and join hands. May your hands be forever clasped in friendship and your hearts joined forever in love. Now that Chris and Chelsea have given themselves to each other freely and lovingly, with the joining of these hands and the giving of these rings, by the power invested in me, by the state of Minnesota, and the World Wide Web, I happily pronounce you husband and wife. Mr. Bride.